I'm creative parenting expert, speaker and author Nikki Bush, and this morning I'd like to talk to you about multisensory learning, the importance of using all the senses in preschool learning and early childhood development. And it really is something that is under threat at the moment with the misuse and overuse of too many screens in children's lives. Now, technology in itself is not a problem, but when children are using technology exclusively and not using traditional toys, games and playing with each other, then we do have a problem. Now, just imagine a child on a tablet or on a cell phone is scrolling across and just swiping their hands, and there is no multisensory feedback whatsoever. In early childhood development, this really can be a problem. So I want to show you the opposite in a product called Geostacks. Now, this is a shape, color and quantity game. We've got all these different shapes which are rough on one side, smooth on the other, give a child a lot of tactile feedback. Even a baby, if you gave them these shapes, would be putting them in their mouths. So children need to map objects and things with their senses, whether it be the mouths, the fingertips, the hands, etc. So that is an important aspect of creating very strong memory cells in the brain. This game allows children to sort, match and categorize, so you could get a preschooler to find you all the yellow shapes or find me all the circles. So they need to learn the difference between circles, rectangles, squares, triangles and diamonds. Now, these 5 specific shapes are there because they teach early reading skills. If you have a look over here, every single one of these shapes has got different lines and curves in them, and these all make up the lines and curves that are in our alphabet. So if you have a look here, we've got in this rectangle those long straight lines, and we've got these curves. Well, that could be the letter A or A. So children need to learn the different aspects of line make up letters, and if they're doing this in a multi-sensory way, they take in the information through fun and play without it being a seriously stressful learning experience. In addition, we have this big fat podgy threader, very hard to come by, and what we're doing here is threading, so we're crossing the midline of the body. We're also doing fine motor control and eye-hand coordination. And if you just have a look at the way in which I am holding this threader, those are the very same 3 fingers that would be used in a tripod grip or a pincer grip for when one is holding a pen or a pencil. So we're strengthening this whole grip for writing later on. So we are doing letter recognition, sorting, matching, categorizing, because we have to tell the difference between various shapes. We're doing recognition of various lines that we find in shapes, and then of course we can do our threading, which is the pre-writing skills, and then we can do stacking. Now, this is not an easy stack because of the lip that's here. So children have to learn to lift over the lip to put things onto the stacker. Once again, fine motor coordination, problem solving, spatial planning, which is also something that is in short supply when children are in front of a screen all the time. Many parents say that their children can do a 100-piece puzzle on an iPad, but when it comes to doing the puzzle in the real world, in the classroom, teachers tell me that children cannot do it. So it is important that children get the opportunity to play with the real thing, real shapes, real puzzles, to manipulate pieces, to turn them, to flip them over, to find the right place where they match in a multi-sensory way, so that their brains are actually mapping the world and give them an idea of how the world actually operates. And when children are doing multi-sensory play, they're creating meaning about the world around them. To add another level of learning to this product, we have a number of, I think it's 20 different task cards, and obviously here this is color, so a child can be playing flat on the table initially, and they have to match color to the actual task cards, or we can place the task card in front of this mast, and then children need to do the stacking right onto the mast to match what's on the task card. Basic color matching, basic shape matching. Now we combine shape and color, which makes things a whole lot more complicated. This is spatial planning, so now children need to stack their masts according to these instructions. So which one do we put on first? Initially your child is going to put a red shape on first because it's on the top, then they'll put a green, but that doesn't match. So now we learn the problem-solving skills of how do we get the green to the bottom? We have to put it on first. So that is a challenge for children. And then we have 3D learning, where we're looking from the top down, and we have to learn how to put the rectangle first so that the diamond is on top. Then we go into quantity. So this is a shape, color, quantity game. Now we will put one shape on the left-hand mast, 2 shapes on the next one, 3 shapes on the next one, and it doesn't matter which shape, it's not prescriptive. Now it becomes prescriptive, it has to be 3 yellow shapes. And now it has to be 2 diamonds. And here we start combining color together with number, and we have a guide here, so if children are learning the number 2, they can do the dots first. 1, 2, and then they know they have to put 2 shapes to create the number 2. But this means 2 yellow shapes. And finally, we go into complete abstract learning, and we have to have 2 circles, 3 squares, 4 rectangles, and there are no prompts in terms of the dots. So as you can see, this is a really comprehensive school readiness program. It covers so many different bases, and you can find this product available. It's one of my classics of all time, available at toytalk.co.za.